Hello and good evening. My name is Scott Morris, and I will be presenting the 2021-2022 proposed budget for the United Herkimer Madison BOCES with you. But first, let me thank you for your time and your service to your school communities. The presentation tonight will focus on the OHM BOCES budget rationale, district commitments, historical view of BOCES budget, distribution of resources, administrative budget, Arwada, BOCES aid, and we'll go through a contract example. The budget developed at BOCES is much different than the budgets of your individual school districts. As those of you that sit on your local boards know, school district budgets once approved by your communities generally do not change. The amount approved, whether it's a $6 million budget or a $170 million budget, is the amount the district cannot exceed. The BOCES budget, on the other hand, is very dynamic and fluctuates throughout the course of the year based upon the needs and requests of the school districts. As an example, the $72.2 million budget for 2020-2021 approved by our board last year exceeds $83 million at this time based on actual requests from school districts. When we develop a budget at BOCES, the proposed amount is enlarged and estimate based on historical usage by school districts. The services that school districts contract for with BOCES will change from year to year, and as such, the commitments that a district signs up for are for the coming school year only. Throughout the course of the year, if additional services are needed, adjustments to the BOCES contract are done, thus the increase in our budget from the current year. When the year concludes, we reconcile the cost of the purchases with the amount the school districts paid for them. Any overage paid is returned to the school district in the form of a refund. This graph provides a historical look at the OHM BOCES budgets for the past several years in red, along with actual expenditures provided in blue. You can see that the budget continues to grow from year to year. As mentioned earlier, actual services for a year will change as the year progresses and districts encounter additional needs, as represented by the blue arrow. We look at the continued growth as a sign we are evolving with the educational world to meet the needs of our districts. This graph takes a look at the distribution of the proposed budget for 2021-2022. The first 7 items represent services that districts sign up for. The other 2 bars in red, rent and capital and administrative, are expenditures of the BOCES that are distributed to the 12 component districts. I want to point out that each of our programs provide very valuable service to our school districts. For example, the PPL Program of Professional Learning Department, though small in dollars, provides an invaluable array of services to our school districts. I would like to focus on the administrative budget for a few moments now. Again, this is the budget that component school boards will vote on April 27th. The proposed total for the 2021-2022 school year is $3,786,150, a decrease of 1.3% over the administrative budget for 2020-2021. This graph shows the consistency in the amount of administrative budget over the past several years while the overall budget continues to grow. Items in the administrative budget include costs for organization-wide functions such as the district superintendent's office, human resources and accounting functions, and the assistant superintendent for administrative services office, as well as the cost for retiree health insurance. This chart illustrates the distribution of the administrative budget among our component districts. The distribution is based on each district's proportionate share of a student tally, known as the Resident Weighted Average Daily Attendance, or Arwada. The 12 slices of the pie chart represent each district's share of the charges, with Utica representing the largest piece at around 44%, and Brookfield the smallest at a bit under 1%. As with many of the services that districts contract for through BOCES, state aid is also paid to school districts for their share of the administrative budget. As referenced earlier, schools receive reimbursement from New York State for many of the services that they sign up for with BOCES, including their share of the cost of the administrative budget. The reimbursement is paid to districts in the form of state aid, or more specifically, BOCES aid. This chart provides the reimbursement ratios for each of our 12 components. You can see that on average, the reimbursement rate is approximately 75 cents on the dollar. For reference purposes, New York State provides a minimum aid ratio for BOCES services of 36%, and a maximum ratio of 90%. The last slide that I will review takes a look at services that a component district contracts with BOCES for and the net cost of the district for those services. In this example, the district paid a total of $1,638,300 for the services. A portion of these costs are disallowed for aid purposes. Many of you are familiar with the 30,000 cap on salaries that is eligible for BOCES aid. This cap has not changed for well over 2 decades, though each year there are efforts to increase it. There is no expectation that this will be increased for the coming years, you can well imagine. As a result of the unallowed costs, the aidable amount was reduced to $1,277,500. Applying the district's aid ratio of 0.764 results in reimbursement of $976,010. In addition, once costs of services are reconciled, a refund of $66,400 is paid to the district. That leaves a total aidable amount of $1,042,410. If we look at the final contract of $1,638,300, we subtract the total aidable amount of $1,042,410, we're left with the net cost of $595,890, or a net cost as a percentage of contract equal to 36%. Thank you very much for your time and attention. I look forward to seeing you on April 14th at 6:30 p.m. for our virtual annual Board of Education meeting. If you have any questions regarding this presentation, please email to Deb Kimball at dkimball@oneida-boces.org. Please remember that the vote for administrative budget by the boards of education of the component school districts is set for April 27th. Again, thank you and be safe.